Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Renée-Suzanne. A special welcome to my really special subscribers and to any of you new folks here today. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. 5,000, and would love to have you along with us. Today we are, or right now we are, going to finish up the Money Game Trilogy by REN. This is part 3 of Money Game, the official music video. I bet that's Hens of REN too. I bet that's him playing the piano, whether they show us his face or not. Look at the rings. I'm going to watch those rings and see if I see them anywhere else to see if it's REN. Okay, so we're going to continue on with someone with their head covered and tied with rope. Two people, the pianist and the other person in the room. Oh. Oh, he realizes that it is REN. Wow. Look at himself in the mirror and realizing he's had a bag over his head the whole time, like, or, his head's been buried the whole time and he's making these realizations.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old.
Ooh, mine, mine, gimme. Yep.
He was walking, 3 years old, walking quickly. 4 years old, he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old, and his daddy told him, listen here, son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16.
Wow. Is this how his life went? Is he talking about himself? Or also the general population of, you know, businessmen's sons who they raise up to be like them.
He develops complex software. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 9.
Oh, wow. See how much we can be influenced by our surroundings, what our parents tell us, how our parents raise us. Not that we can blame them, you know, for our behavior. But once we realize what we're doing and possibly realize where it comes from, you know, we're responsible to do better. We're responsible for those mistakes. We're responsible to fix them if we can and to do better. But this is extremely interesting, to say the least.
But he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a lie.
Hold on, we have to go back a little bit because I think I heard 21 selling rockets. And a lot of what he talked about with the computer situation sounded a lot like Steve Jobs and Apple. There was a mention of the garage. They did build their, Apple was started in a garage. So, wow.
His daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32.
Woo! Ooh, 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 ooh. And yes, all for his dad's approval too. But once he got quote unquote successful, his dad said, nah, no, you're not even, you're just, you know, when he's in a, you know, up there in the palace, but or in a mansion or whatever, he's just, he's not even at the king's level yet. So he works even harder and ends up getting into exports from Cuba. Let's just say, let me point to that stuff. Yeah, right up there, right there.
The president's suite, now he's 30. His daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling Warehouses with powder and guns, 34 turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket.
Yeah, Popo is inside of his pocket. Blind eye from the Popo. Blind eye from the police and the law because they're in his pocket. He pays them off. And he spins the world around, the globe around, like that's the way it is all the way around the world. That's how world players play the game. Loosening up his tie, having a bottle of liquor sitting there too.
From the popo inside of his pocket.
Hello?
35. He gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36. Getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37. Eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38. With a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39. Getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
Oh. He dramatizes these lyrics so well. And you notice everyone else except him now is still a faceless person. Because it's like it doesn't even matter who they are. There's just so many people involved in all of this. And they're just a faceless nobody. They don't even count. They don't matter. They're all just part of the game. And now he's gone and turned against the cartels that he was making money with and getting paralyzed for it. Oh, wow.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land. The free, put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is
Following the creed of the land of the free, stick your hand in the cookie jar and take more than you need. You know, that rubs me the wrong way for a lot of reasons. One, because it's true of a lot of elites. It's true for a lot of the upper wealthy class. And maybe even true for those just striving to do better and move up through the middle class, because it's just more. And the maybe the human condition of never being satisfied. But not everyone. Not everyone wants to stick their hand in the money jar and take more than they need. If they do end up with more than they need, they use it for others who are in need. And I feel honestly that you're responsible, that if you have more than you need, and more than enough for a little of what you want and a little to save, then you are responsible even before that, in, you know, individual situations, responsible to help those others around you in need. But I get his point. He's talking about all the elites, all these globalists, all these heads of countries. Ours not excluded.
Exaggerated versions of me, and it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music.
Ooh. So dramatic. Oh my God.
This isn't entertainment. This is
No.
real life. The way we live is lunacy. Community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
Oh no.
Everything is subject to change. You could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise.
Okay, I have to stop it here and take my breath. Whew. I think he might be the only person singing so straightforwardly and extensively about this issue and all the issues that come from it. And now I'm a little afraid of where he's going to go with this. Oh, it's raining.
45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father. It's such a damn shame.
Ah.
Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Okay, well, there isn't anything in there that I can't say is not true. And there isn't anything about that video that I can't say Ren has expertly, geniusly depicted visually for the song that he has written. With Jimmy as the example. I do take exception with the fact that, you know, utopias could be created. Because I just don't, I don't see, that would take the extremely overwhelming majority of the world population to have happen. But there's tons and tons of room for improvement, and we've got to do better. We've got to do better. Money is not everything. Power is not everything. What's important are the things that last. What's important are your family, your friends, love, charity, hopes and dreams, being kind, being compassionate, having a family if you want to, treating each other well. Wow. I wish I could say he's just painting a bleak picture of society, but quite frankly, it's quite true. It's quite true. And it is definitely cause for reflection about what you know about the world, what you know about your country, what you know about the community you live in, and how you contribute, good and bad. So that completes our Money Game Trilogy. This was part 3 by REN, the official music video. And if you enjoyed this, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, like I said, subscribe down below so we can get to 5,000 subscribers. That's my goal, our first goal. And that is all I have right now. Thank you for being here. And remember to go and support the original artist. My reactions are not a substitute for watching, downloading, and listening to these artists' music and their music videos. What you hear me say is my own commentary, my own thoughts or opinions at the moment of watching this. But by all means, everyone needs to form their own opinions. So that will be the end of this video for now. And like I always say, it's only goodbye for now.